Good day, gentlemen and ladies. Finally, I'm gonna make that video about the maintenance, the spring maintenance on my John Deere LA135 Special Edition. And I don't remember how much hour I have, but stick around, I will show you that, alright? Okay, so how many hours that I've got? Let's put the switch on. I've got 461.1 hour of work with my little garden. It's not a garden tractor, it's a lawnmower. For me, a garden tractor is get hydraulics on it, like a rear 3-point or a hydraulic pump on it. But this one is a lawnmower. I have my John Deere since 2011. Yeah, I bought it from my mother, and they had them since yeah, it was a 2008, I believe. 2008, maybe 2007 when they bought it brand new. So the maintenance, the spring maintenance on my John Deere. First of all, I'm gonna skip the engine. I already did the a maintenance video about, and you can look at my playlist about the maintenance on my John Deere. I did the that was about 3 or 4 years ago, for the adjustment for the push rod valve and the intake valve. Push rod for the intake valve and exhaust valve. One is aluminum, one is steel. The exhaust is steel, and the intakes are aluminum push rod. I did the spark plug change. I changed the air filter. Very easy to do. There's so many videos on that. I clean it. I also did the oil change last spring with the proper oil. I was thinking using last during this winter, but I didn't use it, so that's why I'm not changing it. And that's one reason why I'm using synthetic oil, because oil, mineral oil will go bad after 1 year. Synthetic oil, no. It's I'd say 2 years easily, you have no problem. Because after a while, oil will get in contact with oxygen. It will not doing its job washing. Like the W is for washing, and like if you have 10W30, well, the W is for washing. There's soap, there's many other stuff in there, but after so long time, the oxygen affect the washing of the oil and the lubricant part of it, so and the cooling part of it and everything. So after a year, mineral oil should be changed. Synthetic, in my book, 2 years. Yeah. All right. Of course, you're gonna grease it. There's many grease point. There's for the wheel, also for the steering, and under for the suspension. Easy to do. Like you can see, I have one here. One is for each wheel, and one in the middle. The Mower Deck, again, look at my playlist. I already greased the spindle. Just remember, a big warning, these spindles are sealed. So if you want to grease it, I have made 2 videos about that. Is greasing properly the spindles. So you put out on the bearing itself. There's 2 bearings on the spindle for the lawnmower deck. You need to pop out the plastic seal, and you make sure they face each other, because the grease knob is right in the middle. So as you're greasing by the grease knob of the spindle, the grease will touch the bearing. So yeah, and many bearings were burned, because even if you grease it, it doesn't do anything. You will only grease the top and the bottom brush, not the brush, the brass, and still you don't want that. You need to grease the bearing, right? So the Mower Deck, the straps are good, everything is fine. I changed the strap about 2 years ago on the Mower Deck, the main strap. So yeah, On the mower deck itself, I did many modifications. I removed the wheels, the front wheels. The reason why I was removing the wheel when I was in Shefford, I was caught up in so many side trees, bushes, rocks, stuff like that. And right now it's on float mode. I like it like that. It's trouble-free. If I had to do a suggestion to John Deere on these small, on this lawnmower tractor, just put a frontal roll, like a large thick roll on each side instead of having a small wheel. That would be better. Now, what I'm going to do on this video, I'm gonna show you that is about 4 years ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I had a problem with the hydrostatic transmission. I was pushing the forward or rearward. I had problem to climb with it. Something was wrong. So I found Turf Torque. That's Turf Torque. They're the makers of those static transmission, and I asked them what's going on. And after a bit of discussion, they discovered that John Deere they put mineral oil in those. It's mineral oil, by the way. It's not hydraulic oil, okay, on those transmission. So and they put only 10W30 mineral oil, which is not good. Well, it's good for 5 years or so, 7 years, depends on how many hours you're doing. What they recommend is the 15W40 or higher grade of synthetic oil, and it's better. Synthetic will resist against heat because it does get warm in there. So using synthetic oil, 15W40. Right now I'm using a mix of oil from leftover synthetic oil, and which is fine because, and I asked them how often you should do that. They said every 50 hours roughly. It depends on what type, but with 50 hours you'll be, and so what I have done after that, I find someone, I ordered the part myself, changed it, and then I discovered there's something wrong. So there's a guy back in Eastern Township, he's a machinist, and he was rebuilding these. And what he told me basically is you have to look on the internet. It's basically think about a revolver. You know, the barrel where you put the bullets. That's our piston, and they work on various surface. And those pistons are pumping oil. Look on the video, you're gonna find that. Well, basically the piston rubbing at that surface. The surface was not good. It was not, and it was leaking. It was not flat. So what he done, he used his machinist, he resurfaced it, and that fixed it. And since then, and then he told me he drilled holes on the oil pan, on the sump oil pan, on 2 places. So and he installed a new filter. And when I remove the oil, dropping the oil, it's cleaning the filter, which is a screen filter. So it's very good. So that's what I'm going to do, basically. So, and before removing, I popped up the filling port on the top. So let's do that. Cheers. All right, folks. So we're gonna go under my transmission. I'm gonna show you with the tip of the Allen keys where those 2 screws are. All right. So bear in mind, it's gonna be moving. All right. So I'm just gonna kindly move the camera in such a way, and holy smoke, it's gonna be tough going. Just hold on. All right. Okay, so as you can see here, it's completely under the transmission. One sump oil is right here. I don't know if you can see the screw what I'm pointing at. There's one screw here. This is one sump area of the hydrostatic transmission. The other one you see here, it's the part that's completely separated from this. Is just hold on. This is one pump, and this is another one. So there's the other screw right here. Now the filter is on this side, right in the middle of that. And here the oil will drop with the bad oil. So this is the 2 screws that the machinist installed, and that's why I'm gonna drain my oil. So I'm just gonna back up a little bit this and take my oil pan. And I mean, the oil is clean, like it was more or less a demo, I think. I'm just gonna show you that here. So you can see the oil is dripping. I'm gonna remove the other one. I don't know if you can hear in the back, these are the F-18 coming back from their training area, which is now 150 nautical miles true north of the base. There we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is just hold on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna pop out the top cap, so the oil will drip easier. All right, and by doing so, it's easy. It's where the fitting port. All right, on the front part of the transmission, it's gonna be tough to see, but I'm gonna try to show you that. All right, stick around. All right. So this is the front part of the transmission. The mower deck is right there, and the cap is exactly where I'm touching right now. I'm putting right. I don't know if you can see the top of this. I'm gonna go with my fingers. Jeez, it's tough. Maybe from the top. Okay, you see this is the little tower that I'm touching, and this is the cap there. And I'm just gonna take off the cap really. There we go. You see the cap moving in here? So this is the cap I have to remove. And that's where I'm gonna fill up the part. I'm gonna give you a trick on how to fill it up really easy. It's gonna be absolutely no problem. I'm just gonna take off the cap. So basically the cap, it's like this. It's a plastic cap. And is a membrane here. It's easily movable, and yeah. When you remove it, before you remove it, you clean around. That's why it's clean. Okay. So I'm gonna put it in a clean place, and then once it's completely empty, and you can see the oil is dropping, and you can see that on both sides here, because there's a lot of oil in there. So I'm gonna wait. All right, stick around. Now there's another way to change the oil inside of these hydrostatic transmission. It's like the first time I did it. You need to basically James from Killing Ink Country made a video about that, but there's many videos also that you can find on the net. For me, I removed the oil, the wheels, then I disconnect the strap, I remove the 4 bolts. It's about 20 minutes job. And then I bring the oil, the transmission on the top. I remove the cover, the sump pump, the oil pan cover, basically. I remove it, break the seal, then I remove all the oil, dump the oil, clean the seal, change the part, but then reseat it. So that's why by drilling 2 holes on those 2 areas, it's all standing. And yeah, it's a little bit painful, but I mean, that way I'm gonna keep that tractor for years and years and years without any problem. The vital factor in this maintenance is make sure you drop all the oil in there, because that's where the bad metal part fillings, it's when the labs is dropping. That's why the machinist told me that and said, yeah, make sure everything is dropped. You can also move the tractor, not with the little, that lever. When you pull it, it's basically letting air in the pump, so the drive mechanism is not working. You need to push it, and then you just rock back and forth the tractor, so all the pistons are getting empty. Like, you remember that revolver? It's really like a revolver barrel with holes, exactly like a old 6-shooter. And the cartridges are acting basically as a piston, spring loaded, and the surface which is rubbing that revolver, that's make the oil pump activate as when you're pushing forward, the surface is moving a little bit more like this. So thus I letting the pump having more oil and making it faster. But there's many videos on the net about that. Stick around. Yeah, as you can see, my grass is starting to get very long. So I've got a good between 4 to 6 inches long. So that's why it would be very nice to have it cut here. Definitely the it was well fertilized during the winter. And Ruby, what's going on? Really? What's going on? What's going on? Huh? Yeah. He's sick of this. All right, so now I go back to the main subject. Putting a new oil, changing the oil on my HST transmission on my John Deere. By the way, we're at the end of May. This is the last weekend of May, and the leaves are just barely starting to show up. We're easily a month behind compared to last year for the leaves. We had a really cold, wet spring. Not so wet. It started very well. We had a warm water, but after like beginning of April, but then we have. I mean, you all see the 2 snow videos that I made, and yeah. But these are just brand new since 2-3 days. Cheers. All right, so I just put those 2 screws back into the oil sump. No more than 25 inch-pound torque. The machinist who drilled the hole, he put steel inserts. So the screws are not screwing to the aluminum case, they're screwing into a steel insert, and these inserts are pry and glued into the oil pan. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So no more than 25 inch-pound. All right. How to fill it up? It's outstanding. You use one of these automatic oil transmission funnel. All right, and you put the lever, this little lever here, in the up position for the more adjustment deck height. And it's not from there. You're just putting through the hole like this, and I'm right above the filling port. And stick around. I'm gonna go under to show you the connection. Okay, so bear in mind, we're gonna go in diving. Yeah. See, I'm right on the top there. All right, so that is outstanding. So I'm just gonna fill it up. Just take your time, put the funnel in up, and take the time. Now the trick here, this is the total oil. So I must have like maybe I think it's 2 pints roughly, but at the end, when you think the oil start to overflow, again rock back and forth the tractor, so it will refill the barrel, the piston, like an oil filter basically. So move it back and forth without starting the engine. You just move it back and forth, and you remove the oil can. Of course, everything is tied up in there, and then you're gonna refill it. All right. I completely forget the filling port. There's a magnet in there that you need to remove. I'm gonna take off the magnet. Just hold on, stick around. All right, this is the magnet. I just finished to clean it, and there's a magnet like the hole, like it's like this, and it's just on the side. So make sure you removed it, so that way you ain't gonna. It's not acting like all restriction. That magnet is picking up all the metal. By the way, there's 5 magnets inside, and their job is to pick up metal fillings all around. So just as your information. All right, so I'm gonna put it on the side, and then I'm just gonna fill it up. All right. Now the trick here is that from where I'm standing, I can see the filling part of the transmission. So you just need to go no more than a pen size of oil. So that way you're not creating a mess on the ground. And you can see then the oil is going all the way inside of the transmission. If you go faster than that, the air won't will create bubbles. So you need to make sure that the air is venting off from the same filling port oil. All right. So right now I'm a little bit overfilling. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna engage the transmission lever and I'm just gonna forward it like about a foot. Then I'm gonna rear it about another foot. And just playing like back and forth like this a couple of times, and that will remove the excess air. And I can see the oil is dropping, so just a couple of times I can hear the air bubbling in there, filling up the oh, and getting stiffer too. Now when that is accomplished, you push the lever. It's already pushed. What I mean is pull the lever out and do the same. It's much easier. The reason why you're doing both with the lever push and out, so everything is and now I'm just gonna finish with the lever in. Holy smoke, man. Now what I'm going to do the same with but when the pedal is pushed. Alright, stick around. Forward. Then rearward. Forward. Holy smoke, man. There we go. So I'm gonna look at the oil level. Yeah, so I just need a little bit more oil. Just hold on. All right. So the difference was about a cup, half a cup of oil. All right. So the tricky part in here is you remove the funnel and you let it drip in the can like this. Now. Oh yeah, she's filled to the cap. Before putting the magnet, make sure again all the filling are. You really need to put a clean magnet in there. So I'm gonna reinstall them. Just remember, there's a 2 slots on each side, which it falls like this in the upward position. All right. Then you close the cap, and you're in business. If you have any question about this video, please write me a nice comment and I will answer to you the question. They must have, each province, they must have their machinist fixing those transmission. And it is worth it. Back then it was $360 when I gave the transmission and they fix it. Those are expensive. They're $1,200 by the way, Canadian, when they brand new. So plus the time, the taxes, of course, we're in Canada. So yeah, it's worth it to bring it to a machinist and having fix it for you. All right. So again, thank you very kindly for your outstanding comment, support. Life is good, and the last bonus, you're gonna see me cutting the grass in about well, maybe 2 minutes. All right. Cheers. And do take care of yourself. Cheers. One thing I always forget to mention is the proper oil disposal of your used oil. So right now I've got my oil pan in a setup, and all the oil will be inside of the a former oil container. I've got also all my winter oil change, engine, car, tractor in there. And each spring I go bring it to the recycle center. It's very important to recycle properly, dispose properly of your oil, because this is high toxic oil. It contains a lot of carbon. Burn project is never good for the health. let's say. All right, I have many chemical product but in mind, but yes, so dispose it properly. The last is maintenance on the video part is the protection. So all the frame, I clean it. I all spot some place where they have, you know, all the mechanism, the pedal and everything. I oil the place. Same thing with the steering column. I have a place where I oil it. And at the end, I just throw a good coat of wax. It could be any type of wax on the top of it. So it protect the plastic, the steel frame. And I also oil all around the pad here. I put a lead coat of oil so no corrosion will occur. And voila. All right, for the seat, just go, I use glue and patches. You can buy another cover seat also. They're sold by John Deere. You can make your own. All right, so let's cut some grass. For me, what is a good wax? Turtle wax. I always use that. That's the type of wax I was using when I was cleaning up pilot helmet, protective helmet. That's the wax I was using. All sort of helmet I clean with these. All right. Make sure your tractor is on all the sun. Just put and I just throw a little nice coat like this everywhere. Then I rub it and then I clean it. All right. So. Really? Nine, it's time to cut the grass! There you are. I've been looking for you.